Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Millie for Eating for Meaning. Thank you so much for watching. And also, I want to invite you to subscribe and to like and to share. Just dropped a card. Just shuffling the card. This is the Mind, Body, Soul Health Oracle reading for the week of December 5th to December 12th or 5th to 13th. I just did Mind, Body, Soul Oracle readings on Friday night for Integral Fitnesses. They're a group from LA, a group of millennials who are interested in consciousness and soul connection. They had a dinner in New York, their first ever family conscious dinner. And it was so beautiful and so fun. And I want to thank those guys at Integral Fitness for having invited me to participate. People signed up to receive my Mind, Body, Soul oracles, and the readings just came through so strong. So people came and they asked one question, and I gave them the reading as it relates to their mind, body, and soul health. But their question itself could be related to anything in terms of their work, their love life, their relationship, their personal, their living situation, their health, anything at all. And the readings were so beautiful. And so this is the week, this is a general reading for the week. And I'm going to be using the same deck as I did last week. I couldn't, or 2 weeks ago. I couldn't do it last week because I was in Pennsylvania at my mother's house and I didn't have my cards with me. And I ended up staying longer for the Thanksgiving weekend than I had planned. So I'm sorry for that break. But this is the reading for this week. And I'll be using Wisdom of the Oracle cards. So this is Colette Baron Reed's beautifully illustrated Wisdom of the Oracle cards. Such gorgeous artwork. And I feel like this deck really represents the mental. And of course, there are spiritual and there are physical and there are monetary and practical messages in this deck. But we use this as the mental because this really, it is a wisdom. And wisdom relates to the mind, what we know, knowledge, what we pursue, our opinions, our perceptions, our interpretations. This is all related to the mind. And because I'm a naturopathic doctor and I work with people in helping them with their health on the mental, the physical, and the spiritual level, I just am loving doing these mind, body, soul health oracle readings because I feel like it really ties together what we need to work on as individuals and in group consciousness as we are ascending and as we are moving towards increased love of one another and ascending humanity, being more in tune with our spirits. Whether you think of 3D and 5D, it kind of bridges the gaps in those because we're all right here in this moment, living both of those realities. They are shared. And so I'm going to use the Colette Baron Reed Wisdom of the Oracle deck for the mind. I will be using the Stephen D. Farmer Earth Magic deck. Hope you can see that. It's gotten late here all of a sudden in New York. It's dark early. So it's not even 5 and it's almost dark. But the Earth Magic cards this is an ode to Native American um, shamanism and healings, and it's a beautiful deck. It really does, because it's Earth Mother. It does represent the ground. It does represent physical matter. So it does represent our body in its strength as well as in its decay or degeneration. It does also relate to our bodies as we connect to the universe itself, to our ground, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. When we die, we become part of the earth again. Of course, depending on how we're buried or cremated, that can be literal, or it can just be from a a perspective, meaning that our body is no longer here. And So I think that this deck really answers and resonates with me in terms of physical health and well-being, how we take care of our bodies, how we manifest our health, how we think about our physical health or our bodies. Do we think about illness, or do we have negative thought patterns related to our illness, or do we promote positivity and wellness for ourselves? And of course, we're all living in this physical body, and we do not want to avoid it. We want to encourage it to thrive. We want to look at it as our temple. We want to respect it. We want to love it. We want to treat it well. How we treat our physical body also does relate to how we feel about ourselves, both mentally and spiritually. And so we'll be using that deck for the physical. And lastly, we'll be using a Dorian Virtue deck. Daily guidance from your angels, oracle cards. It's a very popular deck. Many people know this deck. Dorian Virtue, it's one of her original decks, I believe. I'm not familiar with all of her decks, but I do love this deck because the messages are so beautiful. The messages are so pure. And it's not that it's all telling us that everything's going to be great, but the messages are, I receive the messages with so much love. And I think that no matter what's going on in our lives, even if we're in the depths of despair, or even if we're at a really negative point in our life, we can assume or hear the beautiful message from our angels or from God or from the spirits or from the universe. There's always beauty. It's always there for us to grab, for us to see. We can look at things on the left as if they're negative, or we can look at things on the right as if they're positive. And no matter how bad things are, if we're poor, or if we're sick, or if we're abandoned, or if we're lost, there's always an upside. There's always a corner that we turn around. There's always forgiveness. There's always gratitude. There's always, I'm a person who used to struggle a lot with gratitude. I used to think like, what's there to be grateful for? Yes, I'm grateful for what I have, but what's there to be grateful for if I'm not achieving what I want? If I'm struggling to achieve what I need? And then I heard somebody say that if you assume that you've received it already, then all you need to do is be thankful for it. And as soon as I heard that, it clicked so much. If you assume and know and are confident that you've already received everything, all the blessings and abundance from the universe, if you've already received it from the Lord, then all there is for you to do is be thankful for it. And that just really released me into a different dimension of being able to connect my spirit with God and understanding what I'm being told and what I'm supposed to look for. And so I feel like that deck, Doreen Virtue's Daily Angel Oracle cards, fits that perfectly because it just looks at the beautiful side, and everything is with love. And if you look at everything with love, then you see a better message. You see a clearer message, actually. We can be confounded and confused by negativity. We can be wanting good, but looking at the bad, and therefore it blocks us. It blocks us from being able to have what we need, or to take the essence of the situation and transmute it into something better. So we're all alchemists. As a naturopathic doctor, I certainly relate to being an alchemist, or being somebody who can shape shift one thing into something better. And I think that that's all of our ability. So I'm going to pull a card for the week. I don't know why I'm having a hard time thinking 7 days in the future, but it's December 4th to December 11th, this reading. Unfinished Symphony. Unfinished Symphony. Isn't that gorgeous? So there's a keyboard, there's a world, there's a couple in an embrace, there's a woman doing a dance. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a woman doing a dance. It's a little dark. I'm having a hard time seeing. She's sitting down. She's holding a broom. There's birds behind her. There's beautiful clouds. There's a color pink behind her. There's music notes. Oh, she's holding a violin, not a broom. I really messed up the description. I couldn't see. It was too dark. But so unfinished symphony. So this is a pause. This is a pause in making a decision. So if it's not clear as to the decision that we are making, then we need to take a break. We need to wait. If we're creating something, if we're creating something that's beautiful, if we're creating something that we've always wanted to achieve, if we're on the path, if we've been putting in the work, if we've been gathering the pieces, the golden nuggets, if we've been gathering our clues, if we've been researching and getting to understand what our true calling is, getting to understand the situation better, if we've been putting it out there so that we can receive, if we've been paying it forward, if we've been giving in order to receive, or if we've just been giving for no reason at all to shed blessings on other people, and we've run out of steam, or we've hit a roadblock, or we have writer's block, or we have a stumbling block, all of these blocks, or if we're tired, or if we need to rest, then this is the time to do it. This is not the time to hurry along because you want to complete it by the end of the week, or want to complete it by the end of the day, or you want to complete it by the end of the year. This is a time to breathe, be in the sky, be in the present, look at the birds, be on the magic carpet, be thankful for what you've achieved so far, be thankful for your inspiration. Stop and smell the roses. Not to say all the cliches, but these sayings come from a place of wisdom. And this is the mental card for the week. Unfinished symphony. There's nothing wrong with taking a pause, taking a break when you need to. If you're on a path, if you're on a trajectory and you've been halted for some reason, you don't need to quickly abandon ship. You do not need um, to abandon your project. You do not need to do a 180 and take the opposite direction. All you need to do is sit and wait. And this might be easy to do this week because all the holiday parties are starting, and it's Hanukkah, and you know it will be Christmas upon us, and it was just Thanksgiving, and there's a lot going on in the world, and there's been a lot of fear, and there's been a lot of perseverance, and there's been a lot of people needing to change direction a little bit. But if you're not completely sure as to where to go, then just sit here and enjoy. And maybe you enjoy some parties, or maybe you enjoy some holiday time, or maybe you enjoy um, the calm before the storm. Maybe it's quiet for you this week before it gets really busy. And that's what you should do this week. Not being finished, being in the middle of something is only a step along the way. It's not a point of failure. It could actually be a point of no return, in that you've come too far to turn back. Even if you don't know the way forward for yourself, just hang out, just enjoy it. Don't do anything about it. Just rest. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to sleep more, sleep more. If you need to do a little detox this week, then we'll see what the physical card says. But from a mental standpoint, clear your mind, meditate, go on a little mini vacay just for you. Slow time down. Don't speed it up. Don't do too much. Don't make any hasty decisions. Just be. I was given a message by one of my archangels, Archangel Jophiel, several weeks ago, who told me that my DNA is restructuring. And this is not the time to be upset or to be forcing anything to happen. It's the time to just be. And I feel like universally, seeing this card, that maybe that's true for most everybody who's on this path right now. We all have something to take from this. If you're trying to force it, if you're trying to push it, if you're trying to promote your business, or if you're trying to make some last minute changes or get something finished, this might not be the week to do that. This might be the week just to let it hang in the air. Cliffhanger, cliffhanger ending. It's not over. The point along the way, the place on the spectrum, place on the continuum. Okay? That's where your mind is this week. It's undecided. Your mind is undecided. Your mind is unfinished. There's no stress about it. You just need to sit and wait for the next answer to come. Yay. That's nice. That eases the stress. That takes the load off. We don't always have to be fighting and doing and challenging and pursuing and persevering. I live in New York and I help people who are having corporate jobs. Maybe they think that they've reached their dream job, and once they get there, they're completely disillusioned with how much work they're putting in, what their daily hourly rate ends up being once they factor in the fact they're working 80 hours a week and 10 to 12 hours a day. When they realize they're working for somebody else and they're not working for themselves, they're working to make somebody else's dreams come true, and they don't even know who that person is, and they don't even necessarily agree with the philosophy of that person or those individuals or that corporation. The corporation itself is their boss, not a person. So this is what time it is. It's time to just hang in there, hang loose. Don't make any decisions. Be clear. Meditate, breathe, take walks, stay at home, have fun, be with friends, take it easy. We're going to do the physical. I'm just going to do some shuffling. I already shuffled these cards, but I'm going to do a little bit more shuffling. And these cards are beautiful because they are on the back side, and this is actually one of the cards, this tree card. It's the cycle of life. The branches need the roots. Both need each other in order to thrive, and they rely on the microcosm of air and water and sunshine and the rock bed in order to self-generate. And from a physical standpoint, that's what we all need. We all need air, we all need fresh air, we all need water, we all need rest, we all need nourishment, we all need time. Healing takes time. You know, when you're learning about medicine, there's a dosage over time. So how much you take of something versus how long it takes to see results. And increasing the dosage doesn't necessarily shorten the time. In actual fact, it could create more problems because your body has to metabolize that that dosage that you're taking. And so sometimes, and I firmly believe this, sometimes the best medicine is the slowest medicine because it produces the least jarring side effects on the body so that you do not have to recover from side effects. And it has the longest lasting effect. Things that take a longer time sometimes procure lasting results. Now, there is spontaneous healing, and I do feel like we're moving towards that, towards understanding how we can spontaneously heal ourselves. But until we get there, and whenever that is, for the majority of the people, we're all still living in our physical body. And this is the card that comes up this week. It's Mountain. It's the Mountain card. And I hope you can see the colors of this card because this card is absolutely gorgeous. I realize that I have a lot of reflection there. Next time I will try to be more aware of the light. But this card is pink and blue and golden. The sky is pink and the mountain is bluish purple, and then the below mountain is golden, and then the clouds are white, and then there's the horizon. So see where we live with our physical body. Our physical bodies are strong. So this is the week while you're slowing down your mind and not making any rash decisions with your mind, your body is also following. This is a week for your body to nourish, to be strong, So whether that means going to the gym, whether that means doing more exercise this week, whether that means taking extra minerals, taking apple cider vinegar in water, taking Himalayan salt sole in water, not for the purpose of detoxifying, but for the purpose of getting our minerals back, our potassium, our calcium, our boron, our selenium, our iodine, our magnesium, these minerals that make up the alkaline ash nature of our bodies, that strengthen our bones and our muscles and reduce lactic acid buildup and reduce osteoporosis. They create a strong foundation so that so that our joints and our nerves and our circulatory system and our lymphatic system can hang on to, so that we're creating a strong structure and foundation for ourselves, so that we're strong. Anything that makes you feel strong, that's what you should do this week. So if your mind's taking a break, hanging in the balance, just letting yourself be quiet, not making too many decisions, your body wants to be fortified this week. Fortify it with bone broth, fortify it with chicken soup, fortify it with stews, fortify it with comfort food, but comfort food can be healthy. It doesn't have to be macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese, especially if you're using processed cheese, it's different if you're using raw Parmesan or aged cheese. It has minerals and it has vitamin K2 and um, got some protein in there. But American cheese is certainly just a waste. It's just chemicals. It's just hydrogenated vegetable oil and some coloring. Foods are not all the same. It's not like, oh, do you want American cheese or do you want the organic, unpasteurized raw cheese? Those two cheeses are so vastly different in how they affect your body. One might strengthen your teeth and strengthen your gums and strengthen your bones and strengthen your digestive tract and lower your heart blood pressure, and the other might raise your blood pressure and clog your arteries and slow you down and decay your teeth. So no two cheeses are alike, no two vinegars are alike, no two sauerkrauts are alike. There's healthy versions and there's unhealthy versions of everything. And you really want to try to check out the healthier version. So whether that's going into the organic section of your grocery store, whether that is reading about traditional methods of food preparation, fermentation, making kombucha, feeding your microbiome the good bacteria that exists in your small and large intestine that help to strengthen our immune system. If you're somebody who's frequently catching colds or flus, then you really want to be aware of how much vitamin D. That's also a vitamin, but it helps to absorb calcium into the bones. This is what we're talking about. We're saying strength. It's immune strength, it's bone strength, it's joint strength, muscle strength. So, whatever this means to you in terms of being strong, how your body feels strong, and notice when you eat foods and notice when you exercise what makes you feel good. If you're feeling bloated and overstuffed and weak and tired and sick after you eat, even if you like the taste of that food is not good for you. That food is not making you strong. Hello, wake up. That food is making you sick. If the food is making you sick after you eat it, then it's making you sick in the long run. I have a nutrition program called Eating for Meaning where I teach you how to identify what food is good for you and what food's not good for you. And I certainly do go through nutrition science and how we dive into the different health and therapeutic diets and the restrictions and all those things. I do talk about elimination and detox and everything. But the main point of Eating for Meaning, and that's the name of this channel as well, is to help you figure out what you need to do in order to bring the most meaning into your own diet and lifestyle so that you are the best physical human species you can possibly be, so that you can live a long and healthy psychological and life and be strong mentally and spiritually so that you can help others, so that you can achieve your life's purpose and your soul's calling. It all relates. Mountain, strength. Breathe it in. What makes you feel strong? Even when it comes to people, surrounding yourself with people. Some people make you feel weak. Some people make you feel needy. Some people make you feel dependent. Those are not the people that you want to have around you this week. People who grab onto you and make you feel like exhausted, that you have to give to them all the time. Those people are not the people that you want to surround yourself with this week, if ever. This week, you want to surround yourself with people who make you feel happy and strong and proud of who you are, and happy that you've come so far, and proud of yourself that you've been able to escape a dangerous situation or learn and grow or achieve success in whatever way you see success being achieved in your life, or abundance, the same meaning for abundance. So whatever way you see abundance, if that's personal skills, if that's willpower, if that is discipline, if that is relationships, if that is communication, if that is money, if that is success, if that is having achieved goals that you set for yourself. You want to be around people who remind you how good you're doing, not people who are just yes men or yes women and just saying yes ma'am, and not being honest with you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that you can connect with, people who can be honest with you, people that you can be honest with, people who support you no matter what you're doing. Not people who belittle you, not people who need to put you down to make themselves feel better, not people who need to cling on to you and need your money and need your time and need your emotional support. I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving emotional support, but you all know what I'm talking about when I say people who are grabbing onto you and needing you. And that can be exhausting. Those people can be toxic in your life. If you want to give your emotions and if you want to give your time and if you want to give your love to somebody, then that should be a free exchange, an exchange of free will. You want to give that. You're offering that because you care about that person, you cherish that person, and it makes you feel good to be around that person. Mountain, strength. This is the card of the week. So it's a slow week, right? Like, I wonder if you'll be busy or if you'll be not so busy this week, but certainly the cards are indicating that we're taking a bit of a pause, that we're finding ourselves, that we are relishing what's around us and what helps us. And this is something, if you have to put on your life preserver before you save the child beside you when you're on an airplane. And that is a metaphor for everything in life. If you are not, we all want to give. And if you are in the position to give, that's wonderful. But if you are a person who needs to receive, then also you need to surround yourself with people who are ready to give to you. We all need give and take, and we can't all be giving at the same rate that we're receiving. Some of us need to give more and ought to be giving more, and some of us during certain times in our life, and some people need to be receiving more. And there's nothing to be ashamed of in needing to receive. We all need it. If you can't receive, you have a hard time continually giving because the well becomes empty, you become sick. Even if it's for your own family, of course you love your family, but if you're in a place where you're so exhausted and always doing everything for everybody else and never paying any attention to yourself and what you need, you're not going to be healthy. You're not going to be able to, let alone elevate your consciousness. You're not going to even be able to pay attention to what you're eating or pay attention to your own thoughts, your own negative thought patterns. So this is a week to really tune into you before all the craziness of the holidays start. And if it's already kind of crazy, then maybe it's a time to retreat a little bit. Let's see what the spiritual card says. So the spiritual card just popped over is release and surrender. I'm going to read what this card says, but obviously this is an absolutely gorgeous card. Archangel Jophiel reminds me of her because it's purple, but it's kind of a deep pink and golden colors. The Archangel of Beauty. Release and surrender. Don't worry. Whatever you're hanging on to psychically, whatever you're holding over somebody, whatever you're holding yourself to that you can't accomplish, whatever worries you have about your inabilities, whatever fears you have, it's time to release and surrender. And I'm going to read what the card says. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. If you feel like this, release them. Open your hands, arms, and heart to love and assistance. Release and surrender. Wow, what a beautiful week. This is really a quiet week. This is really a week to go inward. This is really a week to take care of yourself. The universe is preparing us to be very busy, maybe overstretched. Maybe we already are this way. And in order to run ourselves into the ground, you want to catch yourself before you get to that place where you're on the brink of burnout. You don't want to have to get to burnout in order to realize that you need to take care of yourself. You don't need to hit rock bottom before you rise again. You want to be aware of the gentle lull, the gentle rock of the ocean, so that you're responding when you get tired to sleep more, when you get hungry to eat more or to eat better, when you get weak to strengthen yourself, when you're too torn to relax and center yourself, when you're holding on to the reins and wanting to control everything, release and give way. Give way to your spirit guides, to the angels, to God, to Jesus, to the Lord, to the universe, to source, to light. Release and surrender. What could be more beautiful? This is the week of December 4th to 11th. And I hope you'll all follow this gentle guidance. This is information that just comes through me, through the cards. I like to read it. This is a general reading. If you'd like your own personal reading, then you can go to my website, milliesays.com. I have a special for people who are subscribers to my channel. $50 for a personal reading. It's a wonderful deal because you can get insight on questions that you have about what's going on with yourself right now from a mind, body, soul perspective. And there's a lot going on right now, and you know there's a lot going on both in your world and as well as in the universe itself, and just with all the political climate and with all the changes turning over and with all of the opposition that light is facing from dark, and all the uniting we're doing and all the persistence, what's happening at Standing Rock, they're being so diligent to their needs. They're experiencing tremendous terror. They're being terrorized by the police, and yet they're standing their ground. It's an amazing display of human love and prayer and fortitude and resilience and revolution, a revolutionary spirit. And we can be gentle warriors. I do believe that we can send energy and positive light to those that oppose us, and they can put their weapons down. And that's what we're all praying for. So may this week strengthen you. May this week guide you. May this week fortify you. May you release and surrender this week. And anything that's unfinished, just rest. Just sit on it. Just hang up your hat, hang up your coat, and do what's good for your body and your spirit. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and share my channel, and I'll be back next week. This is Mind, Body, Soul Health Oracle readings on Eating for Meaning. Thank you.